Okay, folks, welcome back. So I'm working on a new kitchen here, and just what am I doing right now is I've got all my edge taping done, and I've got to sand every one of these pieces. So quite a bit of time to just standing here sanding, and I've got my floating router that I've been working on, kind of sitting there, and spend a little bit of time just thinking about it. And one of the things that dawned on me is that not only do you guys not have big shops, but most of you only have one router as well. And, if you're like me, then I hardly do any routering unless it's on my router table. And, it's not easy to take a router off a router table once it's on there. And, and it's going to be the same thing with this thing. Once I get this thing lined up inside of this machine with its, once I get my mount finished up and get this mounted in here, I'm not going to want to mess with that. I'm not going to want to take it out of the mount every time if I had to use this router somewhere else. I'm not going to want to take it out of that mount every time because, it might get slightly out of line, and then it would be a nuisance every time to use it. So what my thinking is now is I'm planning on building more than one track system here. So you could see that the router is just mounted on this there's a few pieces of plywood screwed together, and then there's going to be a mount. Well, the router's just mounted on that, and then there's this simple base that is screwed down to my pivoting arm on this floating router. Well, it'd be real easy to make a new track system for this router to slide into. Then it'd just be a matter of, to get it out of this thing, all I got to do is take one screw out here, and then the router would slide out on this mount. Well, if you look at this thing now, this is what the part that I want to share. If you look at this thing, if this were upright and mounted into a table, this would make a pretty slick router lift. All I'd have to do is gear something up that, that I could use this handle or something similar, or maybe something different. I don't know yet. To be able to raise this up and down, all I need is this track system for sure. And then, something similar to this to be able to raise and lower it. And then I'd be able to use this router for a couple of different uses without hardly any work. All I have to do is, like I said, drop a pin, slide it out, slide it into the new mount, and then I wouldn't have to take it out of this mount, which would make it hard to line up again. The other thing that could be done pretty easily too is there could be a base made of some sort that then it could be used freehand as well. So that would make it kind of like a multi-use router without too much work. So I've got some ideas for the router table too. Just thinking about the, just kind of thinking ahead, it would be so nice to have the new, the track system that I'm planning on making for a new router table, make it so that it was able to tilt, because being able to have a router table that tilt just opens up a whole new set of profiles that you can make with the same bits. But you'll have to wait for that. That's going to be, I want to finish this up first, and then I'm going to make a new router table for this router to slide into. So just kind of, a little bit, I always try to let you guys see the design process of this too, and let you know what's coming. And this is a video to do that. So hopefully you guys had fun watching. Hopefully you'll keep tuning in, and I thank you for watching this video.